This is my table that's just smothered in Lego base plates, and today I'm transforming it into a Lego fairgrounds with working rides, games, and more. Okay, first thing we need to do is add fences all the way around the fairgrounds. We definitely don't want people sneaking in. I used a combination of these fence pieces that I had a ton of for my zoo skyscraper, but I didn't have quite enough, so I had these 1x2 bricks in between each one. Then on the inside, we've got this pathway that loops all the way around the fair. I used different sizes of these dark tan plates to shape it and round it off so that all the corners would be nice and smooth. Then in the front area, we've got this lovely landscaping with these bushes and then some marigold flowers that I added in later. And that brings us to the ticket booth. I really like this simple little thing. I built it up using a bunch of these dark orange masonry bricks with a red sloped roof that kind of arches over the entrance here with this cool spinny turnstile. That's on one of those pieces that, well, this is a Technic connector, and then this thing has that Technic pin on the plate so that you can connect it all together, and then it spins very, very smoothly. We've got our workers in there hard at work handing out tickets. I love that little slot between the glass window up top and then the actual window bit here. This is a little bit fragile because like there's nothing supporting that from the bottom, so that will be a pain to put back, but that's fine. We've got these lovely little flags on top, and then this piece is from a Lego SpongeBob bus set that I think I've also mentioned in a previous video. I know it has buses on the tickets, but like it's a perfect sticker for a ticket booth, and then these tickets on here are just also very nice. I didn't know this, but fun fact for the day, the numbers on here, 0937, upside down, spell Lego. That's a clever little Easter egg. As we make our way through the ticket booth and into the fairgrounds, we've got this big center display area here where the farmers have their Grange displays. This guy fell over. But there's plenty to see in here. We've got this fenced animal pen with some cows, a spotted goat, and these hay bales built with these texture profile bricks, and then these grill plates on top. They are brightly illuminated with these cool show lights using this classic lamppost pole with a ratchet hinge kind of thing on top with a bunch of studs as light bulbs, and then some produce. I don't know if you noticed, but there's like grapes in Farmer Wilkerson's bin, and he didn't actually grow grapes on his farm. He was originally supposed to. I made this cool grapevine thing with a bunch of purple ice cream pieces growing off the sides as grapes, but there just wasn't a place to put it on his farm, so that fruits and vegetables poll that I did made a little bit less sense. And food on display. I really like this table that's based on, I think, the one in the Lion's Night Castle, where it has all of these rounded plates as the lacy cutout of the tablecloth. And then in front here, we've got all of these bleachers that we've learned are kind of hard to sit in, but these are just made with, oh boy, these are just made with these half panel pieces. I found these were the best things to use for the backs of the seats. I had some taller ones that you just couldn't see the figures as well with, and that just provides a much better view to all the farmers and other minifigures that are watching the show. Can you count how many have overalls? Here's one. This is the judge of the blue ribbon contest. That was kind of a representation of my subscribers, but it's really Lewis from Stardew Valley. This is the old version I made of him way back 2 years ago, and to be honest, it's kind of bad. The bowler hat is decent, but this hat's way better. The face, he just looks sad that he's replaced now. This is way better with the mustache. I think this is the only like kind of gray mustache I had. Maybe his mustache is gray, so it's not, maybe not, this isn't perfect, but it's definitely better than this. And then his shirt is just like this weird green jacket, and I did like cut out, this is actually, I cut out this little chunk from the Brickworld Chicago like activity pamphlet thing, and that's what I glued onto this torso to make the suspender, so that's a solid improvement, and I guess the pants are the same. But this blue ribbon he's holding is so cool. I thought the only ribbon pieces Lego had made were from Lego Friends. Lego Friends has only ever made a number 2 ribbon. There's no number 1 ribbons out there, and they're all in these kind of like pink, purple, more pastel colors. That I wanted a blue ribbon. That's like the classic thing. So I looked on Bricklink, and apparently this came in Scala and Belleville sets, like these weird horse stable kind of cursed Barbie clone sort of things. But it did come in one system, I think like a Harry Potter Hogwarts castle or something or other. But it's a very cool piece with like this frill on the top and then 3 different strands coming down below. It worked out perfectly for the contest. Some of the food trucks and food mascots from the 24ville Farmers Market make their triumphant return, and they also have this cotton candy stand that came in the original Lego roller coaster set. In the back corner here, we have games. Unlimited games. Actually, there's only 4 that all have interesting tidbits to talk about. First up is this balloon popping game with all these Technic ball joints spaced out ever so deliberately on this white board. There's a mix of jumpers and then just normal plates on here, so they're all kind of spaced out as best as we could. These flower pieces are used as the popped versions of the balloons, and you can kind of see I did have to use these mantis eyes from the Lego insect set because I needed these for my tomatoes in the farm field. Once again, the backside of masonry bricks always makes a fantastic wood plank texture, and then we did have to cheat with the animals. They're just stuck to the poles here with sticky tack, so I'm sorry, I cheated. It's very illegal. We've got the penguins and the Lego Friends animals, Pinata, and then the teddy bear. This is a duplicate. And then I don't know if anyone noticed, this is like the Series 2 Carnival figure, but with a bowler hat, and this totally reminds me of the Carnival games guy from those old Wii shovelware games. That's kind of what we were going with this guy. I spent literally an hour while editing the video trying to find the music from the Carnival games, and it just does not exist on YouTube. I thought about like pulling out my old Wii and recording it myself, but I have a lot of fun memories playing that terrible game, and I'm sure a lot of you do as well, so I wanted to point that out. And we didn't quite finish the back. And it looks like Jacques is having a lot of fun playing that game with his slingshot. The little duck pond here is kind of cute. There's 4 little rubber duckies there, and you're supposed to find the one with the green star on the bottom. Oddly enough, it's not the green one, and it's not on any of them, so it's kind of rigged that way. And then I love the little dunk tank here. Big shout out to Small Brick City for the inspiration on this one. I did modify his design quite a bit, but I've got the target here that actually works. You push it in, and the guy falls into the studs in the water there. We've got this window that's kind of bluer tint to kind of make it look more watery, and then this window so you can see. Originally I had like a cage design, but like his window thing was way better. We've got some lightning, like, you know, designs on the side. These printed blue pieces on top come from a Cinderella carriage set that I got at a garage sale. The mechanism is pretty simple. It's just a platform that's on a pivot point there that you kind of wedge this target into underneath there using that same piece from the turnstile earlier. That keeps it in place and keeps it from falling, but if you put any pressure on it, then gravity just makes it fall. And then a poor dunker named Dunker Daryl falls into the water below. Then finally, I'm just gonna reuse a lot of my footage I took for the strength test game because I spent a ton of time making sure all the stop motion was good, all the lights were changing. I had to make sure it wasn't wiggling too much. It already wiggled quite a bit, but that I had to like reinforce it, all that, and so the actual build is very simple. It's just this Marvel blast piece in the back is kind of an explosion effect with the golden bell there and the studs all the way along the sides, which is actually built completely sideways using these snot bricks to add a little bit extra thickness to the assembly. And then that's all attached to another snot brick right there that attaches to the base of it in there. And like I said, I'm literally gonna let you play the exact same game again by pausing the video at just the right time. Ready? Go! Now comment below your score and see if you improved from the first time you played it. This is clearly based on the minigame from the Stardew Valley fair. I even used the exact same like markers for the different strength levels, but I also built this minigame from the fair. It's the Wheel of Chance, where you're able to gamble your money on it, and you always go green because it's slightly more likely to win. One of the coziest little corners of the fairgrounds is this little lumberjack zone here. This whole fairgrounds is loosely based on the Bangor State Fair in Maine. I don't live there. I've never actually been to this fair, but I just looked up pictures online, and apparently they sometimes have a lumberjack show that visits and does some stuff there. So that's kind of what this is based on. Starting off, we've got this photo booth here with a sailor and a mermaid, 2 classic lumberjack icons. No, this is slightly unrelated to the rest of the area, but I didn't know where else to put it. So there's these little cutouts for the faces this came in a Lego Friends set. It's a sticker just on a normal like clear window panel, except it's made specifically with mini dolls in mind, which are a little bit skinnier than normal minifigures. So in order to position both farmers to actually be in frame in the main channel video, I had to take their heads off and like put them on poles or fold their arms back in weird positions to kind of get them in place, but the results were well worth it. The log rolling pool is super simple, but it turned out very nice. I've always wanted to try log rolling. I think it looks kind of fun, except if you like fall and like do the splits, that would not be fun. But this is a lumberjack minifigure from, I'm gonna say series 5, no 9, I know that, it's 9. And you can kind of run and do tricks and stuff and then fall into the pool, hopefully not like knock his head. I think a real pool would have to be bigger because like if you fall, you're definitely gonna get a concussion, but there's ways you can fall in the water, and that's semi-safe. Axe throwing here I have tried, and it's very fun. We've got the little log pieces here on snot bricks to kind of be the targets here, and I just literally reused the shelter from the beginning of the farm video because I thought it kind of fit this general lumberjack aesthetic. And then for this figure, I just used the same torso as the lumberjack CMF. I think I have 2 of those. But I was kind of going for like a Wendy corduroy from Gravity Falls. Whenever I included Gravity Falls figure in the videos, there's just a ton of comments about it, and I think it would have been better to use like the horse and groom. What's her name now? Rachel's torso for her iconic green flannel shirt, except Rachel was at the fair, so I couldn't quite do that. But how are we thinking? Does this look like the cartoon or not? Then in the back, we've got chainsaw art. I really love this scene. We've got like the big log with like the branches coming out of it, and then the wood on the inside is like it's tan, a different color. He's shaved all the bark off of, and he's making a little Sparky statue. Bonus trivia: does anyone know what other video that wooden Sparky was featured in? Comment down below. And we've got the little beefier chainsaw than just the official Lego piece, and then that hat is is the perfect lumberjack hat. I love it. And Harriet's here admiring the craftsmanship as well. And now it's finally time for the rides. But it's probably not a good idea to go right after you ate something from the food trucks. So that's why this porta potty is here. Very simple design here. The door isn't really even hinged. It's got this green marker here showing that it's empty, but you can also replace it with a red plate to show that it's occupied. This is like it's an official Lego sticker from a construction set, I think. And this is the opening door. We do have a toilet in there, but there's absolutely zero ventilation, so it's probably quite rancid. And then some very, very, very light detailing, if you can even call that, along the sides there. With a very long line waiting outside. I probably should have built more than one. And then I really, really like this bounce house here. My brother Jordan actually made it entirely from scratch, and he did an amazing job. So please spam the comments with, Jordan, you're bounce-alicious. I'll let you figure out how to spell that yourself. All these arch slopes on the floor make the little bouncy platforms separated by different colors that slope up to it. We've got arches around the sides. It's all very curved. And then all these posts around the corners are connected with these rubbery wall things. And then the tops of the towers are very interesting. They've got, of course, a cone on top of the flag. And then these yellow semicircle bricks are actually connected to this tri-technic connector piece. I don't know what it's called, with just friction. They're all clipped in there together for a really cool shape. But my absolute favorite part is this little generator air pump off to the side. It has this perfect little print for like the air turbine, and then it's connected to the side with this flexible hose piece. It's got like a little shaping going on there, rounded. It's just amazing. I guess technically Jordan also built this Ferris wheel last year when we did the Disney train theme park video. This time around, I swapped out the colors to make it look less like Mickey Mouse, and then we have this circular printed dish in the center. The motor mechanism down below though was super unreliable, so I swapped it out with this much simpler design. Literally just powers the wheel right at the center. It's super loud though, which is why I have not had the Ferris wheel on in the rest of this video, because I'm kind of doing live narration, and I feel like I have to shout so you can hear me over the dull whirring of the motor in the background. Let's just turn that off. Much better. And finally, I added a bunch of minifigures visiting the fair, including some from 22, 23, 24, 25, and even 26ville. A couple of these clowns, Florida Man, who's about to absolutely just destroy that porta potty, and this TV reporter, which I was surprised to see literally zero comments who knew who the voice of this reporter was. So if you can comment down below and guess, that'd be great. But now the fair is fully complete, and you can watch this video here to see the two different farmers compete in it, and the farms I built for each of them.